Have you ever wondered why some people seem to stay vibrant and full of life well into their 80s, 90s, or even past 100, while others begin to slow down much earlier? Is it just good genetics? Or is there something else at play? Well, here's the good news. Science says aging isn't just about luck. The choices you make every day, what you eat, how you move, how you think, can have a huge impact on how well you age. And here's an even bigger truth: small tweaks can make a big difference. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. You don't need to follow extreme diets or spend hours at the gym. Instead, by making a few simple but powerful changes, you can add years to your life and life to your years. So today, let's talk about 5 science-backed tweaks that can help you live longer, feel stronger, and stay sharp well into your later years. And to start, let's talk about something most people don't even think about when it comes to aging: your attitude. Have you ever met someone who, no matter how old they are, just feels young? Maybe it's an 80-year-old who still cracks jokes like they're 30. Or a 90-year-old who still gets excited about learning new things. Now, compare that to someone who's only in their 60s but constantly says things like, "I'm too old for that," or "It's all downhill from here." See the difference? Science shows that how you think about aging actually affects how you age. Studies have found that people with a positive mindset about aging live up to 7.5 years longer than those with a negative view. And it's not just about living longer, it's about aging better. People who believe they can stay strong and independent as they age are more likely to keep moving, stay engaged, and take care of themselves. Meanwhile, those who believe aging means decline often stop trying, and that's when they really start to decline. But here's the best part: you can change the way you think about aging, starting today. So instead of seeing aging as something to fear, think of it as a privilege. Instead of focusing on what you can't do anymore, focus on what you can do, and what you still want to experience. Maybe it's learning a new skill, traveling to a new place, or simply enjoying more time with the people you love. Whatever it is, remind yourself that life isn't over just because you've hit a certain age. In fact, in many ways, it's just beginning. And that brings us to the next tweak, the one thing that's been called the closest thing to a magic pill for aging well. We just talked about how your mindset can shape how you age. Now, let's talk about something even more powerful, something that scientists call the closest thing to a magic pill for longevity. And that magic pill? Movement. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm not a gym person. My knees aren't what they used to be. I don't have the energy to exercise. But here's the thing: you don't need to lift heavy weights or run marathons to reap the benefits of movement. In fact, some of the longest living people in the world don't exercise in the traditional sense at all. They don't go to the gym, they don't track their steps, and they don't follow strict workout routines. Instead, they just move naturally throughout the day. Take the Okinawans in Japan, one of the longest living populations in the world. They don't have fancy fitness programs. But they do things like gardening, walking, and even sitting on the floor and standing back up multiple times a day. Then there's the Sardinians in Italy, another group known for their longevity. They don't lift weights, but they do walk. A lot. They walk to visit friends, to run errands, to enjoy the fresh air. The point is, you don't need to work out, you just need to move. And the science backs this up. Studies show that moving your body for even just 10 minutes at a time can lower your risk of heart disease, diabetes, and even dementia. So, if the idea of exercise feels overwhelming, start simple. Stand up and stretch more often. Walk a little bit further than usual. Do some light household chores. Dance to your favorite song. Anything that gets your body in motion counts. But if you do want to take it a step further, here's a game-changing tip: focus on strength. After the age of 30, we start losing muscle unless we do something about it. And losing muscle isn't just about looking fit, it's about staying strong enough to live independently. Because think about it, the ability to stand up from a chair, carry groceries, or even get up after a fall, all of that depends on muscle strength. The good news? Building muscle doesn't have to be hard. Even simple things like bodyweight exercises, resistance bands, or lifting light weights can keep your muscles strong. And here's the best part, it's never too late to start. Studies show that even people in their 80s and 90s can build muscle and improve their strength with just a few minutes of resistance training per day. So, if you want to live longer and stay independent, the answer isn't to slow down, it's to keep moving. Now, while movement is one of the most powerful tools for longevity, there's another crucial piece of the puzzle, one that affects not just your body, but also your brain. We've talked about movement, but now let's dive into something just as important, what's on your plate. Because here's the truth, the food you eat can either speed up aging or slow it down. And the people who live the longest? They eat in a way that nourishes their bodies, fuels their brains, and protects them from disease. So, what's their secret? It's not about counting calories or following fad diets. It's not about avoiding carbs or drinking green smoothies every morning. Instead, it's about eating real, whole foods, the kind that nature intended. Let's look at the longest living populations in the world, like the Okinawans in Japan, the Sardinians in Italy, and the Nicoyans in Costa Rica. What do they all have in common? They eat mostly plant-based foods. Now, this doesn't mean they never eat meat. But the majority of their diet comes from vegetables, beans, whole grains, fruits, nuts, and healthy fats. In Okinawa, for example, sweet potatoes make up a huge part of the diet. They're rich in fiber, vitamins, and antioxidants, all of which help fight aging. In Sardinia, meals are centered around whole grains, legumes, and fresh vegetables. And when they do eat meat, it's usually in small amounts, more like a side dish than the main course. And in Nicoya, Costa Rica, they have something called the Three Sisters diet: corn, beans, and squash. These foods work together to provide all the essential nutrients for a long, healthy life. The key takeaway? Focus on eating more plant-based foods, and treat meat as a side dish rather than the star of the meal. But it's not just what these people eat, it's also how they eat. First, they eat until they're about 80% full. This is a habit known as hara hachibu in Japan, and it helps prevent overeating, which can lead to weight gain and chronic disease. Second, they eat mindfully. No eating in front of the TV, no scarfing down food in a rush. Instead, they take their time, enjoy their meals, and truly listen to their bodies. And third, they enjoy meals with family and friends. Because food isn't just fuel, it's also a way to connect, to bond, and to celebrate life. Now, if you're thinking, that sounds great, but I don't want to give up my favorite foods, don't worry. You don't have to. The goal isn't to be perfect, it's to make small, sustainable changes. So, instead of cutting out meat completely, try eating more beans, lentils, and vegetables. Instead of processed snacks, try nuts, seeds, or fresh fruit. Instead of sugary drinks, try water, herbal tea, or even a glass of red wine, like the Sardinians do. Every little change adds up. And over time, these small shifts can help you feel better, stay healthier, and maybe even add years to your life. Now, we've talked about movement and nutrition, but there's one more major factor that determines how well you age. And this one? It has nothing to do with food or exercise, but it's just as powerful. It's something most people don't think about when they talk about aging, but science shows it plays a massive role in how long and how well you live. Your mindset. Yes, you heard that right. The way you think, the way you see the world, and the way you handle stress can either speed up aging or slow it down. Let's take a look at the people who live the longest. They don't just eat well and stay active, they also have a positive outlook on life. In Okinawa, they call it ikigai, a reason to wake up in the morning. In Nicoya, Costa Rica, they call it plan de vida, a life plan filled with purpose. And in Sardinia, the elderly are celebrated, respected, and deeply connected to their families and communities. So what does this all mean? Your mindset matters. When researchers studied people who lived past 100, they found something surprising. They didn't dwell on negativity. Now, this doesn't mean they never experienced stress. But instead of letting it consume them, they found ways to cope through laughter, strong relationships, and a deep sense of purpose. Think about it. When was the last time you laughed, really laughed? The kind of laugh that makes your stomach hurt and brings tears to your eyes. It turns out, laughter isn't just good for the soul, it's good for your health, too. Studies show that laughter lowers stress hormones, boosts the immune system, and even improves heart health. It literally helps you live longer. And it's not just laughter. Connection matters, too. In the longest living communities, people don't live in isolation. They have strong social ties. They eat meals together, support each other, and make time for family and friends. And this isn't just a nice idea, it's backed by science. Loneliness has been linked to higher rates of heart disease, dementia, and even early death. In fact, some experts say loneliness is as harmful as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. But here's the good news, it's never too late to strengthen your connections. Call an old friend. Join a club. Start a new hobby that brings you around like-minded people. Even small moments of connection can make a huge difference. And speaking of hobbies, having a sense of purpose is one of the biggest secrets to a long life. Think about what makes you excited to wake up in the morning. Maybe it's gardening, painting, volunteering, or learning something new. Whatever it is, make time for it. Because having a reason to get up every day is one of the best things you can do for your health. Now, we've talked about movement, food, and mindset. But there's one final piece of the puzzle, one last secret that ties everything together. And this one? It might surprise you. It's something that most people overlook when they think about aging, but it's one of the most powerful forces shaping your health, happiness, and longevity. Your environment. Where you live, how you structure your daily life, and even the people you surround yourself with all play a massive role in how long and how well you live. Think about it. The longest living people in the world don't just make healthy choices. They live in places that naturally encourage them to move more, eat better, and stay socially connected without even thinking about it. Let's take a look at Okinawa, Japan, one of the world's blue zones, where people routinely live to 100 and beyond. They don't hit the gym or follow strict workout routines. Instead, their environment naturally keeps them active. They walk everywhere. They tend to their gardens. They sit on the floor and stand up multiple times a day, strengthening their muscles without even realizing it. Their homes and communities are designed for movement, which means they stay active without forcing it. Now, think about your own daily routine. Do you spend most of your time sitting? Is it easy to grab unhealthy food? Is your environment helping you live longer, or is it making it harder? The good news is, you don't need to move to Japan or Italy to create a longevity-friendly environment. Small changes can make a big difference. Start by making movement easier. Keep things you use often in a place that requires you to get up and walk. Rearrange your space so it encourages more standing, stretching, and gentle activity throughout the day. And when it comes to food, if unhealthy snacks are within reach, you're more likely to eat them. Instead, fill your kitchen with whole, nutrient-dense foods. Make the healthy choice the easy choice. Even your social environment plays a role. If you spend time with people who are active, eat well, and have a positive outlook, you're more likely to develop those same habits. But if you're surrounded by negativity, stress, or unhealthy behaviors, it can have the opposite effect. The key is to shape your environment in a way that supports longevity, just like the longest living people do. And when you combine all these pieces, movement, diet, mindset, connection, and environment, you're giving yourself the best possible chance to live a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Remember, aging isn't something that just happens to you. You have more control than you think. Every small change you make today adds up over time. So start now. Take one step, no matter how small. Because the best years of your life, they're still ahead of you. Here's to living longer, healthier, and happier.